I do think that everyone knows that we have something special here. I think a lot of teams have a lot of teams that are special, a lot of rosters that are special, but can you put it together? Can you put aside your agendas? Can you come into work every single day when you're tired, when you're sore, and still get something done and stack the days? And that's what we're doing. Today was tough. You know what I mean? Like, we've been going for a long time. They haven't been, this is not an easy training camp, I'll tell you that, but I think we're going to be better for it. And I think if you ask anyone, everyone kind of just feels that nice energy.
Like, she needs an enforcer. And if it ain't going to be me, Michelle Rappaport, like, where is Charlize Oakley? Doesn't her team have like a Zavaria McDaniels or a Rakisha Mahorn? She needs like a goon on her team, because when your star player that's bringing so much money, so much attention to the league, and it's a collective, it's a bunch of them, it's been brewing.
Sophie Cunningham got fined just $400. That's it. But what happened next? It flipped the WNBA upside down. One shove, one viral interview, one moment of chaos. And suddenly, she wasn't just another role player. She was the moment. The girl who took the hit, took the heat, and somehow walked away with 1 million followers, sold out jerseys, and more power than half the league. But this isn't just about hype. This is about a power shift the league didn't see coming, and definitely didn't control. While the WNBA tried to slap her with a fine and move on, the fans crowned her something else entirely. A protector, a disruptor, a star that doesn't need 30 points to dominate the game. And now, she might be the most important player in the league, and not because of her stats.
She needs an enforcer. She needs a brute that will wreck people if they wreck her.
So how did a minor foul spark a movement? Why are fans, brands, and even haters locked in on Sophie Cunningham? And what does it mean for the future of the WNBA? Stick around, because this story is way bigger than basketball. It started with one hit. Sophie Cunningham leveling JC Sheldon with a shoulder that echoed through the arena like a warning shot. A hard foul, maybe, but accidental, not a chance. The refs blew the whistle. The league slapped her with a $400 fine. For most players, that's the end of the story. A quick punishment, a quiet apology, and a fade back into the shadows. But Sophie's story didn't end there. It exploded. Within hours, the clip hit social media and lit up like wildfire.
I think that's what they were doing in the offseason. They were trying to get winners, people who know how to compete, people who want to win, and put that together with experience, people who have championships. And so when you have that type of combination, and us kind of young bucks, I'm kind of a tweener, and then you have the vets, you know, you're just trying to be a sponge, you're trying to learn, you're trying to be good now, but at the end of the day, you're trying to be the best when it's preseason, right? And so that's why you have those vets, is so you can learn from them. They've been around the game for a really long time, and that's kind of the refreshing part about being on this team, is that everybody wants to learn, and so everyone's dialed in.
TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, every platform had a version. Sports pages couldn't stop reposting it. Fans were either furious or obsessed. And Sophie? She didn't backpedal for a second. She doubled down. Reporters tried to corner her with softball questions. Her response? Ice cold. I know you obsessed with me, and I get it. Stay in your lane and stay out my business. That wasn't just a mic drop, it was a signal. She wasn't here to play defense off the court. She was here to let everyone know she wasn't going to apologize for standing her ground. And that boldness, it paid off instantly.
Sometimes you need one of those players on your team. You need one of those enforcers. Every good player, by the way. Every good player, every good team that is a super duper star. Most of the time have enforcer type players.
In a matter of days, Sophie gained over 500,000 new followers. Her jersey sold out. TikToks about her racked up millions of views. The entire narrative flipped, not from a media PR push, but from the raw energy of someone who didn't blink when the spotlight found her. This wasn't just a foul, it was a cultural moment. And in that moment, Sophie Cunningham went from gritty role player to the face of something the WNBA didn't even know it needed. And what came next? No one could have scripted it. Sophie Cunningham didn't plan to become a brand. She didn't hire a publicist. She didn't drop a merch line.
I just think that's what they were doing in the offseason. They were trying to get winners, people who know how to compete, people who want to win, and put that together with experience, people who have championships. And so when you have that type of combination, and us kind of young bucks. I'm kind of a tweener. And then you have the vets. You know, you're just trying to be a sponge. You're trying to learn. You're trying to be good now. But at the end of the day, you're trying to be the best when it's preseason, right? And so that's why you have those vets, is so you can learn from them. They've been around the game for a really long time. And that's kind of the refreshing part about being on this team, is that everybody wants to learn. And so everyone's dialed in.
She didn't even tweet a reaction. All she did was exist in that moment, and the internet did the rest. Within a week, her TikTok following blew past 1.1 million. Instagram, almost 800,000. Her name was suddenly trending alongside players with triple the stats and a fraction of her personality. And while the league might have seen a reckless foul, brands saw opportunity. Her jersey sold out until July 8th. Comment sections were filled with fans saying she brought life back into the WNBA. Even casual viewers were tuning in just to see what she'd do next.
That's all I see. They try so long to get respect for women's basketball, and then they treat it like a junior high school girl's locker room. Junior high school girl antics on the court.
That kind of attention, you can't buy it. And Sophie, she didn't chase it either. While other athletes work overtime to curate an image, Sophie stumbled into hers. Unfiltered, unapologetic, and weirdly magnetic. She leaned in without even trying. Her videos were raw, her interviews were blunt, and that made everything feel real. And here's the genius part. She never even mentioned the fine again. She didn't pull a PR stunt or beg for sympathy. Instead, fans created GoFundMe pages to pay her fine. Influencers made edits of her highlights. And brands like Adidas and Quest Nutrition, who were already working with her, suddenly had a gold mine on their hands.
You know what? This is just like a breath of fresh air. I'm not kidding. I think it's been day 5, day 6. I don't even know what day it is, to be honest. But it's just everyone's in it for the right reason. Everyone's in it. You have great energy. You have great people. And at the end of the day, everyone's putting aside their agendas and doing what's best for the team. And let me tell you, it is refreshing and everyone's excited to be here.
This wasn't a marketing strategy. It was a marketing accident that just happened to work better than anything the WNBA itself has rolled out this year. And while the league tried to control the narrative, Sophie became it. Let's be honest, Caitlin Clark doesn't need help scoring. She's a walking highlight reel, the face of a new WNBA era, and already one of the most talked about athletes in the country. But here's the thing no one wants to admit. Players like Caitlin do need protection. She's a finesse guard. She's not out there throwing elbows or looking for contact.
So there's a hot topic going on right now. Caitlin Clark says she got cheap shotted against the sky. I mean, throughout the season, she's been getting beat up. Hard screens, elbows, knocked down.
And in a league where hard fouls often go unchecked, that's a problem, because when you're the most valuable piece on the board, you need someone who's willing to flip the table when things get dirty. Enter Sophie Cunningham. She's not the star, she's not the stat leader, but what she brings: intimidation, grit, accountability, the kind of player who tells the other team, you want to mess with our top scorer? Cool, now deal with me. It's the same role Draymond Green plays for Steph Curry. Steph doesn't throw punches, Draymond does. Every great team has that enforcer, and until Sophie showed up in Indiana, Caitlin Clark didn't have one. For most of her rookie year, Caitlin was getting bodied with no response. Fouls were shrugged off, teammates stood still, the message was loud. This league wasn't going to roll out a red carpet for its newest star. But that changed the second Sophie entered the picture. She wasn't just throwing a shoulder into JC Sheldon, she was throwing down a marker, a warning that if you're going after 2,000, it's not going to be free anymore. And whether fans love it or hate it, the impact is undeniable. The Fever finally have someone who brings edge, someone who doesn't play scared, someone who forces the other team to think twice. Sophie didn't just protect Caitlin, she changed the temperature of the entire team, and she's not done yet. Before the foul, Sophie Cunningham signed a quiet 1-year deal with the Indiana Fever worth around $100,000. Not bad, but nothing that made headlines. After the foul, she's on pace to make 10 times that, and not from basketball. According to sponsorship platforms like Open Sponsorship, athletes with 500,000 Instagram followers can earn around $20,000 per post. Sophie's pushing 800K on TikTok. She's already passed 1.1 million, and that number's still climbing. Put those numbers together, and you're looking at someone who can now demand $40,000 to $70,000 per sponsored post, minimum. And here's the kicker: she didn't even try to go viral. No clickbait stunts, no marketing gimmicks, just raw, unfiltered energy, and the audience showed up for it. Sophie was already working with brands like Adidas and Quest Nutrition before the incident, but now her inbox is flooded. She didn't just go from role player to household name, she became a walking brand. And unlike some players who spend years building a polished image, Sophie's brand is built on chaos, confidence, and unapologetic loyalty. She cashed in on something money can't buy: authenticity in the middle of controversy. It's proof that in 2025, being marketable isn't about being perfect, it's about being real. Fans don't want a sanitized superstar. They want someone who bleeds for their team, speaks their mind, and shrugs off the consequences. Sophie gave them that, and the money followed. And while some were still debating whether the foul crossed the line, Sophie was already cashing her next check. The WNBA wanted a superstar. It got Caitlin Clark, but instead of protecting her, the league let her take hit after hit. No whistles, no support, no backup. Game after game, Caitlin got knocked down while refs stood silent and teammates hesitated. It sent a clear message: she was on her own. That is, until Sophie Cunningham changed everything. Her foul on JC Sheldon wasn't just physical, it was symbolic. She exposed what fans had been noticing for weeks. The WNBA wants star power, but it's not doing enough to protect it. In the NBA, stars are shielded. Here, Caitlin had to fight for herself, until Sophie said, not anymore. She stepped in where the league failed, and fans respected it. Not because they all loved the foul, but because someone finally drew a line. Sophie didn't just throw a shoulder, she threw the league's weakness into the spotlight. Controversy usually comes with a script. A player crosses the line, the internet erupts, and within 24 hours, the apology drops. A PR team drafts a statement, a video gets posted, the media tour begins. But Sophie Cunningham, she didn't read from that script. No apologies, no forced humility, no crying on camera. Instead, she posted a TikTok with Selena Gomez's "Can't Keep My Hands to Myself" and smirked at the chaos. That one clip alone pulled millions of views. It was bold, petty, hilarious, and completely her. And that's exactly why it worked. Instead of getting canceled, Sophie got crowned. Instagram comments were flooded with fire emojis. Fans made memes. GoFundMe pages popped up trying to pay her fine. She didn't shrink under pressure. She got louder, and the internet respected it. This wasn't some calculated media stunt. It was raw, it was reactive, and more importantly, it was real. Sophie acted like someone who meant every word she said, and that kind of energy doesn't need damage control. In a time when athletes walk on eggshells and sponsors run at the first sign of heat, Sophie stood firm. She didn't beg for fans to understand her. She made it clear who she was, and the result? People followed. Literally, she became the player everyone suddenly had an opinion about. Whether you agreed with her or not, you were watching, sharing, commenting. And that's the secret. In today's world, relevance isn't about being perfect, it's about being undeniable. Sophie didn't survive the fire, she became it. Before Sophie Cunningham showed up, the Indiana Fever had talent, but no edge. Caitlin Clark could drop 30, but if someone shoved her to the floor, the response was silence. No retaliation, no presence, no fire. Just a team hoping the refs would step in, which they rarely did. That's not how you win games. And it's definitely not how you win respect in the WNBA. Sophie changed that overnight. The moment she stepped in and delivered that hard foul, the Fever stopped looking like a group of rookies and started feeling like a real squad. A team with grit, a team that won't back down, a team that fights back. Now, when someone puts hands on Caitlin Clark, they're not just dealing with her, they're dealing with Sophie, and that changes everything. Suddenly, opponents can't just bully the star player and expect to walk away untouched. Now there's a consequence, a deterrent, an enforcer. And fans noticed the shift. The Fever's game started feeling different. The crowd energy, the media buzz, the way other teams approached them, it all changed. Not because of a stat sheet, but because someone finally stepped into the dirty work role and made it count. Sophie brought the missing piece. She's not the top scorer. She doesn't need to be. Her value isn't measured in points, it's measured in presence. And every team in the league now knows if you try to rough up Indiana, you're going to hear from number 9. The Fever stopped being polite and they finally started being dangerous. This moment isn't just about Sophie Cunningham, it's about the WNBA hitting a turning point. For years, the league pushed a polished image. Play hard, avoid drama, keep it clean. But now, fans are showing up for the fire. They want rivalries, bold personalities, and moments that break the internet. Sophie gave them that without even trying. She didn't just commit a foul, she sparked a movement. A reminder that in today's game, the most valuable players aren't just scorers, they're culture shifters. They make you feel something, good or bad, and that's what the WNBA needs more of. Players who stir the pot and aren't afraid to take heat for it. Sophie didn't ruin the game. She made it feel alive. The enforcer era is back, and this time it's leading the charge straight through the heart of women's basketball. What started as a $400 fine turned into a full-blown shift in the WNBA. Sophie Cunningham didn't just protect her teammate, she exposed a gap in the league's culture. One hard foul turned her into a symbol of loyalty, toughness, and unapologetic energy. No apology, no spin, just pure presence. She showed the league what it looks like when a player draws the line no one else will, and fans didn't cancel her, they crowned her. Now every team knows, if you mess with Caitlin Clark, you're not just playing basketball, you're picking a fight with a team that finally has some bite. So was the fine fair, or did Sophie just redefine what it means to have someone's back? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you're into stories that go deeper than the box score, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next.